Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ChasePacks. In today's video, we are continuing on with our little mini series covering all the sets that are about to rotate out this April. We already went through base set, Paldea Evolved, Obsidian Flames, 151. We are on to Paradox Rift today, aka SV04. So we will run through, if you haven't seen any of the series yet, we will run through just some basic info on the set. We'll go through all the sealed product, all the singles, just kind of a little bit of everything you might want to know if you're considering picking up some stuff for your collection, for your investment, etc. So we'll start off here. I got some numbers down here I'll read off to you. Okay, release date, November 3rd, 2023. Total cards, 266. So a big set. I like big sets. Total IRs, 34. SIRs, 15. Hyper rare gold cards, 7. The theme of this set, future and ancient Pokemon mix. So the Japanese set that combined, I can't remember the names of them, but you get the point. I mean, obviously, one of them was future, one of them ancient. They combined those two. Paradox Rift, future, ancient theme for Paradox Rift here. All right, so there was our refresher. Let's jump straight into the sealed product here. We have the Paradox Rift booster box, up about 15% on the 3-month chart. Market price $270. And that sounds about right. 242 sold this month. So it looks like I had a low here on the 3-month chart of 237 at the end of December. Spiked all the way up to 270, back down to 247. Now we're back up into the 270s. Last sold 267, 274, 270, 266, and 262. And those are all sold today. So good bit of sales in the booster box there. All right, a sealed booster box case, down about 5% on the 3-month chart. Market price $14.88, a little low if I'm not mistaken. Yes, last solds 1,510, 1,510, same again, 1530 and 1589 on those. This 1509 price range, 1510 price range for a sealed case isn't bad. I think that probably equals out to, yeah, that puts the box price under 260, I think. So interesting. It's interesting how these sealed cases work. It's like sometimes there's a premium, sometimes there's not. I get that Paradox Rift's not everybody's favorite set, but man, if you're like a serious investor and you invest in sealed cases, there you go. I don't think Paradox Rift's, nobody's going out of their way to really put money into Paradox Rift, probably not. But if you can get $20 off a box and you're serious with your investing, there you go. All right, moving on. We have the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box. This is a Roaring Moon edition. I did bring up the regular ETB as well, and they're both the Roaring Moon edition. The Roaring Moon edition is a little bit more expensive, not too much though. And to be honest with you, I just didn't want to bring the other one up. So this is the Roaring Moon edition PC ETB, down about 14% on a 3-month chart. I got to be honest, I think there's been a little bit of movement with certain sets with the PC ETBs. Probably should do a video here soon covering all the PC ETBs from the recent eras. But yeah, this one's down about 14%. So last solds on this box, 192, 180, 180 essentially, 200, 170 on the Roaring Moon PC ETB. All right, moving on to the regular ETB. Again, the Roaring Moon version up about 14% on the 3-month chart. End of September, they're selling for an average price of 93. Looks like we hit a high here at the end of November at 110. Dip back down in the low 100s, coming up a little bit, not too much. That's actually the 6-month chart. Okay, so the 3-month chart, it's only up a percentage point, essentially. Let's see how many have sold in the last month. The last month, 23 of them sold. But the last sales are 101, 117, 114, 115, 112. Nice box art. The PC ETB does look a lot better. I find myself always liking the PC ETBs, the artwork on them better, at least in my personal opinion. The booster bundle up about 15, almost 16% on the 3-month chart here. It seems like, I don't know what it is. I think people are really getting drawn to booster bundles nowadays. I've always liked booster bundles. I've said this 1,000 times. I cannot pull any big hits out of booster bundles. Like, I'm always, if I do rip packs, I essentially usually try to go for booster bundles, and I can never get anything good out of them. But if you're looking to get your toes into a product and you don't want to spend, $200 on an ETB, $300 on a a booster box or a case or anything, getting a couple booster bundles or 10 booster bundles or whatever you can is in your price range, they're small. There's no extra fluff in the box. I really do like booster bundles, and it seems like the overall collector investor are starting to be drawn to it as well. Again, okay, so last solds. Let's do last solds. 74. Two of them sold at 74, 74, 65, 65, 64 on the booster bundles there. But yeah, booster bundles as a product, I really do like it. I think they're just going to become more and more popular, in my opinion. All right, we got the sleeve booster packs up about 4% on the 3-month chart. Let's go. Let's do 6 months on this one. I want to see. So last year at the end of September, they were selling for 724, and they kind of just stay in the sevens. Yeah, they don't get out of the sevens on the 6 month chart. So last solds here, one at $8. So these are all $8. That almost doesn't even seem right. One at $8, 10 at $8, 3, 1, and 5, all at $8. Interesting. We'll see some listings though. Okay, we got 8, 8.99, 701, 9.95. There's a little bit more fluctuation in these prices than I was expecting, to be honest. Okay, we have these single packs, non-sleeved, up about 10% on the 3-month chart. Market price $7.35. What are they actually selling for? 1 at 8, 1 at 8, 5 at 10 for some reason, 1 at 8, and 1 at $7.50. Also a little bit all over the place for the solo packs as well. Okay, let's get to the cards. The fun stuff, in my opinion. All right, Groudon, illustration rare. It has been the top chase card for this set as long as I can remember, to be honest with you. Up about 20% on the 3-month chart. On the low, $70 at the end of December of last year. Stuck around that mid to low $70 range, and then now we're up to, let's see, 12 of them have sold in the last 2 days at an average price of $84. Last solds, 94, 91, 84. That's Korean, and then 89 for that one. This is a beautiful card. Beautiful card, getting up there in price. As soon as you start flirting with $90, $100 for an illustration rare, I start, depending on the card, it does depend on the card, but it's pricey. It's pricey for an IR. Okay, the Altaria, this is a beautiful SIR, up about 8% on the 3-month chart. Last solds, 44, 45, 45, 45, 45. Okay, so let's see if the listings are right around there. So nothing special. This is an awesome looking card. Great looking card. I like this card a lot. I wish I had this card. But honestly, $44 for a special illustration rare. The top performing special illustration rare in the entire set. Not a bad price. Not a bad price. All right, the Minun. Honestly, I haven't checked these card prices in a very long time, especially for like Paradox outside of the Groudon. I guess it's not terribly surprising. Minun's like a popular Plusle, right? They're popular Pokemon, but up 41% on the 3-month chart. These were selling for $26 at the end of last year. Stayed there until about February, middle or early February of this year, broke 30, and now we're up to flirting with 40. So on the 1-month chart, 74 of these sold in the last month. Last solds, 34, 37, 40, 40 essentially, 42 for the Minun. All right, Roaring Moon, one of my favorite cards. In my opinion, and again, guys, these are all people's personal opinions, like on what cards you prefer, what you're willing to pay for. I am not gonna pay that money for that Minun when I can get the Roaring Moon SIR for cheaper. It's up about 7% on the 3-month chart. Last solds, 37, 37, 37, 39, 37 for the Roaring Moon. That's a pickup for me. The Altaria is nice. I do like the Roaring Moon a little bit better, and it's cheaper. I like the ancient Pokemon though. I always have. All right, the Plusle up 40%. So the Minun and the Plusle are both up 40% on the 3-month chart. These were selling for $24, $25 at the end of last year. Broke 30 around, when did it break 30? Broke 30 around the very beginning of February. Now we're up to the last 2 days. 5 of them sold at an average price of $35. Last solds, 40, 36, 34, 33, 37 for the Plusle. Moving on, Garchomp. This is a great card. Garchomp, this is one that kind of shocks me. Garchomp is an extremely popular Pokemon. I think the art looks great. It's up about 9% on the 3-month chart. Market price $29. This card for me, I just don't understand how this isn't at least a $50 card, in my opinion. This it shocks me. How is the how is the Minun cost more than this Garchomp? Somebody explain that to me. Last sold's 28. Six of them sold at 28. Six of them sold at 30. Let's see, 28 and 28 on the Garchomp. I'll tell you what, as I'm going through this little mini series and I'm revisiting a lot of the cards from these sets, like obviously we're not covering every single card in this set. There's 266 cards in here. But as I go through this series and as I look at cards that I haven't seen in a long time, sometimes I'm just shocked by the prices, for one, because they can be outrageous, like say the Magikarp. But when you see a SIR, a Garchomp SIR, and its market price is less than $30 from a set that's not terrible, like Paradox Rift, I think this is a buy all day. This is a buy all day. If you can get, I mean, guys, I don't grade, but this is just a card that Garchomp's a very popular Pokemon. If you can get clean copies of these, send them in, potentially get a couple tens, or if you're just looking to collect an awesome Pokemon in an SIR rarity, man, this is just shocking to me. This is also going on my list. I got a list. I'm writing down all the cards that I'm looking at that are just too cheap, and I just have to pick up. And this is one of them. All right, moving on. The Steelix, this is a great artwork, up about 13% on the 3-month chart. Market price $27. Why is my mouse doing that? My mouse is going crazy. Hold on a second. What's happening here? Let's try this again. All right. 27, 26, 32, 26, 25 on the last holds for the Steelix. That's a really cool card, though. Morpeko, the first card we've seen yet that is down on the 3-month chart. Let's see, the high here was the very beginning of the year, $27, average sold. We dipped down. I mean, with these low price cards, right, the percentage looks worse than the actual price is going to fluctuate. But what's the low here? It looks like the low might have been 25. Yeah, we're right at the low right now on the 3-month chart at least. Last sold's 25, 25, 25, 25, 25. Okay, moving on. Iron Valiant, special illustration rare. Another card, not as appealing to me as the Garchomp, but it's technically up on the 3-month chart, 0.34%. Market price $20. It's a special illustration rare, and it's cheaper than the Minun. I just can't get over it. $20, $23, $19, $19, and $20 last sold on the Iron Valiant. Goldango, down about 14% on the 3-month chart. As it should. This is a horrendous Pokemon. Market price $20. Last sold's $20. Let me know down in the comments. Is there anybody out there who likes Goldango? I'll leave it at that. You let me know. Mantike, beautiful card. Love the blues in this card. Another illustration rare that is up 41% on the 3-month chart. The low here at the end of last year was $13. And we're hovering around $19. Let's check out some last solds. 19, 19, 20, 19, 19 for the Mantike. That's a really nice card. Yveltal, again, I said it in the last video, these darker themed cards, like with the black background, with the colors that pop off, looks great. This is a beautiful card. Again, up 42% on the 3-month chart. It's a theme with some of these special illustration rares. Last sold, 19, 17, 16, 69, 17, $22 on the Yveltal. The Swablu, nice card. I do have this card. I pulled this actually somewhat recently, up 51% on the 3-month chart. The low here was $11 end of last year. Looks like we're gonna break. Okay, we didn't break 20. I was thinking this is broke 20. High of 1845, essentially right around there. Last sold's 18, 18, 18, 17, and 16 for the Swablu. Gliscopod, an SIR, cool colors. I like how the card is. The art. I like the artwork. Pokemon's not my favorite, to be honest, but it is an SIR. It is from a set that's about to rotate out, and the market price is $17 for an SIR. So I mean, how bad can you go picking this card up? 16, 16, 16 all the way through. I'm wondering, yeah, I guess how many of these was sold in the last month? 132 in the last month, 402 on a 3-month chart. So, I mean, yeah, not bad. The Magby illustration rare, up 10%. Okay, so not terrible. Honestly, this is probably my favorite illustration rare. Not in the set, but I'd rather have this than the minus and the plusle. But, that might be a little bit of a hot take, I guess. Last sold 16, 14, 14, 19, and 19. All right, moving on. The Garchomp Hyper Rare. This is a really nice looking gold card. I like how the blues pop off. Really good looking card. Up 4% on the 3-month chart. Last sold is 11, 12, 13, 11, and 11. How many of these are selling? 138 in the last month. 518 on the 3-month chart. All right. Parasol Lady, special illustration rare, down about 8% on the 3-month chart. Last solds for this one, 11, 11, 11, all the way through. Moving on. We're trying to go fast. There's a lot of cards. Iron Hands, special illustration rare. I get it. I mean, Iron Hands as a Pokemon is what it is, but the artwork is nice. Like, again, it is a special illustration rare. It's a down about 12% on the 3-month chart, and it's essentially $10 here. We got couples. We got, a lot of these sales, $12, $11, $10, $10, $10 on the last solds for the Iron Hands. All right, Sandy Shocks. I do like Sandy Shocks. I like this card a lot. And for a market price of $7.62, I mean, come on. Up about 27% on the 3-month chart. Last solds, 2 of them sold at 7, 7, 7, 7. Something's off with, I feel like something might be off with TCG Player because these prices are exactly the same, and it happened for another card we just looked at, and it just feels like that chart's strange to me. Maybe I'll have to investigate into that. Anyway, we'll move on for now, though. Professor Sada's Vitality, up about 5%. Last solds, 6, 9, 12, 692, 692 for that one. Again, another special illustration rare. I know trainer cards, English trainer cards, here in the States, not extremely popular, to be honest. The Mela, it is up 28% on the 3-month chart. Last solds for this one, 7, 7, 657, 586 for that one. Okay, last card. It is a Roaring Moon Hyper Rare Gold. I will say the Garchomp looks better than this one, in my opinion, for sure. It is up 13% on the 3-month chart. Last solds, $5, $5, $5, $5, $5. Yeah, I mean, it's not terribly surprising that these Hyper Rare Golds aren't worth a lot. I mean, gold cards, as hard as they are to pull, they're not beloved. People they don't care too much about them, to be honest. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. If you're enjoying the content, if you're enjoying the mini-series, make sure you like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. But I want to pose a question before we take off, like I always do. Paradox Rift, for the Scarlet and Violet era, where does it rank for you? For me, anymore in this market, I don't really know if you could even call anything a sleeper anymore. I mean, it is a $275 box, essentially. So it's not really sleeping, is it? But I think Paradox Rift is a good set. It's a good set in the Scarlet and Violet era. Is it top tier? No. Is it S tier? No. Is it A tier? Probably not. But it's definitely not a bad set for this era. Great artwork. Like I said, big set. I mean, I know some people don't really care about the set size. They're just looking for specific chase cards that they want, blah, blah, blah. But let me know in the comments. How do you guys feel about Paradox Rift? How does it rank up in that mid-tier of the Scarlet and Violet era? Like, Temporal Forces, pick your poison. Paradox Rift for me is nice, though. I like it a lot. I like the artworks. And going through all these cards, if you're a collector, what's appealing to you on this list? What are you seeing that really jumps out to you? The Garchomp for under $30 market price just like hit me right in the face. I was like, what? I thought that card was like $50 by now. I figured it would have been, but it wasn't. But anyways, let me know in the comments if you guys are enjoying. Remember, like, subscribe, it would be appreciated, and we'll catch you in the next one.